ask me.
Welcome to The View.
Yeah.
Now, a very crazy thing happened yesterday. A bathroom break caused some tense moments in the sky yesterday. A pilot of the New York-bound flight locked himself in the restroom, and a helpful passenger who heard him banging on the door went to tell the other pilot he was trapped, which led to the panicked co-pilot alerting air traffic control that their pilot had disappeared. And a man with a thick foreign accent was trying to get into the cockpit. Now, right before the fighter jets were ready to scramble, the situation was cleared up and the plane landed safely.
This is while it was flying.
Yes.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, when he got stuck in, the pilot kept knocking on the door, so the guy with the heavy accent, he actually was helping him, and the pilot gave the guy with the accent the code. So he's trying to bang on the door, and he's giving him the code, and the guy, the co-pilot, a code to get in, so you could, so he would, open up the door, but the co-pilot is telling all the air traffic controllers, he's got the code, and I don't want to let him in.
Here's the thing that actually brings up a point of discussion is just when you think there's not racial profiling, in fact, there is, and should there be or not? Because this co-pilot said there's a thick accent here. He wasn't saying there's a thick Brooklyn accent right here knocking on the door. I believe there was something maybe intimated where it was like a Middle Eastern accent.
This is why I always check the pilots. I always go in the cockpit. Normally I go to see if they're drunk. Now I have to check to see if they're stupid.
But you also have to check to see if they have to go to the bathroom.
That's why you ask your kids.
Next time I go, I'm going to bring a cup.
But you know my story. Okay, first of all, my claim to fame, as they all know, is I'm either what do you call it when you don't drink enough? Dehydrated, because I don't go to the bathroom as often as some other people. Okay, but that counts.
3 days, she hasn't gone.
That's why I'm so fierce. Yeah. But anyway, as you know, one day I went into our bathroom upstairs and I locked the door and I couldn't get out. And there's as much space, in the bottom. And I slithered through the bottom, right? Because otherwise I'd still be in there. And so what happens now is when I go to the bathroom, if I'm in a place, I don't lock the door. I put my foot up, to keep the door. And people are always banging it, but I'm afraid to lock the door.
That's how you stay in shape. That's not easy to do, Barbara.
I mean, first of all, the vision, that day, can you imagine walking in the bathroom and seeing Barbara Walters slithering out of the bottom in her St. John suit, just slithering.
And saying 2020.
Don't you get afraid of locking the door when you go to the bathroom?
I don't like getting on the plane. How about that?
Well, that's a different, not just planes.
I tell you, it freaks me out. It does. I'm not going to lie. When some of you sitting there, and I'm already tense, so I'm sweating like a hoe in church. And here comes the pilot. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? Why aren't you flying the plane? I don't want to know about autopilot. I don't like to know about that. I don't like seeing them go to the bathroom. They need to build a bathroom in there.
Co-pilot
yeah, but you know what? What if he gets the hiccups or something?
I don't like autopilot either.
But I went in the bathroom on a plane. I remember and I had to come and co-host the next day, but I went in the bathroom and I forgot to lock the door. That's why you should lock it. And I remember I was sitting there. I was just like this because I was just zoned out. And the guy walks in and he opens up the door and he's like, "Oh my God!" And I'm like, "Oh my God!" But nobody closed the door. Like it was just like, "Oh my God."
That's what happens. That's what happens to me all the time because I don't lock the door.
You should lock the door.
The thing is freaky to me. Well, it all worked out. Yeah, thank goodness. Now, Bennington does all the clothes and stuff. They pulled ads from its Unhate campaign that depict Pope Benedict kissing a top Egyptian imam after angry protests from the Vatican that the fake photo was unacceptable provocation. Now, Benetton, my bad. There it is. Now, should he be upset? Because this is not the only set of photographs that they did.
It's obviously not about being gay. It's about just having peaceful coexistence.
Well, then why couldn't they do a picture with them shaking hands and hugging each other?
Well, kiss his ring. That's what they would like.
They have Barack Obama kissing Hugo Chavez. Yes. I mean, so let me read you.
I don't like that. I don't like that picture at all.
Let me read you what the Vatican said.
I don't like that.
Let me read you what the Vatican spokesman said.
Okay with you?
If he's married, I don't like it. Is it disrespectful to his wife?
They're not actually. We should clear this up. They're not actually kissing. This is
They've
Photoshop.
been manipulated.
The idea of it is no enemies, everybody's a friend. So let me just read you, if I can, the Vatican statement. We must express the firmest protest for this absolutely unacceptable use of the image of the Holy Father manipulated and exploited in a publicity campaign with commercial ends. This shows a grave lack of respect for the Pope, etc. And the Vatican is examining steps to, quote, guarantee a fair defense of respect for the image of the Holy Father. Now, Benetton says in return, we reiterated that the meaning of this campaign is exclusively to combat the culture of hatred in all forms. We are therefore sorry that the use of the image of the Pope and the Imam has so offended the sentiments of the faith.
Here's why the odds of success, though. Because they took the risk in doing this, and then it becomes a global, national discussion.
Yeah.
So creatively, artistically, it functions in a very successful way. And everybody's right. You can complain about it, or you cannot go buy their products, but it's a powerful ad, and it actually is accomplishing the task which it set out to.
It is very powerful, but I feel like if it was, it's not. These all have been manipulated. If it was truthful pictures, nothing I can do about it. But the fact, I feel like you're forcing your agenda on me. If this was,
I think it's offensive when I look at that.
I don't like it. And two reasons I don't like it with President Obama. I feel like if I saw him a pastor who's happily married with his wife and 2 kids, and he's kissing another man, I feel like, you know what? It's disrespectful to his wife and to him. And so this, I just think it's disrespectful to his wife, and I don't want to see him doing it.
So it doesn't bother you. So it doesn't bother you that it's the president of the United States. It bothers you more that he's a married person and they're depicting him.
If it's a president of the United States, I think it's just disrespectful. You're manipulating the truth to fit your agenda.
Has the administration commented on this ad? Have they seen it?
I don't think it's agenda. I don't think that's what they're thinking.
I think Benetton does this. I mean, this is not, God knows, the first of their provocative ads, but, they'll always have something provocative, and we'll always talk about it. But listen to this. We're going to go. I don't know why I'm leaning into you.
Why not?
We're going to go.
At least you're not kissing.
That's a Benetton